At 49, James lost his job in one email, and his whole life started falling apart. They did everything right. They worked hard. They paid their bills. They followed the rules. So why were they suddenly forced to choose between rent and groceries? And how did one simple decision save this family when everything else failed? This is not a movie. This is real life. James sat at the small kitchen table, coffee getting cold in his hands. He was 49 years old and worked as a consultant for a mid-sized company. Not rich, not poor, just stable. That stability mattered. Laura, his wife, 43, tied her hair back before leaving for work. She worked at McDonald's, long shifts, low pay, but she never complained. Every dollar helps, she always said. Their only son, Harry, was 23, fresh out of college, smart with numbers, quiet, responsible. One afternoon on Tuesday, no warning, no meeting, just an email. Due to the current economic downturn and company restructuring, your position has been eliminated. James read it twice. Then a third time. He checked the sender, checked the date. His hand started shaking. No, no, no. Laura walked in from work later that evening. She knew something was wrong the moment she saw his face. What happened? She asked softly. James handed her the phone. She read the email and sat down, hard. They didn't talk for a long time. That night, James didn't sleep, not because he was tired, but because his mind wouldn't stop screaming. 2 weeks later, another blow came. Laura came home with red eyes. They're cutting hours, she said. Actually, not just hours. She swallowed hard. 50% salary cut. James stared at the wall. Half her income, gone. Rent was still due. Groceries were still needed. Gas, insurance, utilities. Bills didn't care about recessions. Bills didn't care about people. James tried applying everywhere. Consulting firms, small companies, old contacts. Nothing. No replies, no calls. Rejection emails started stacking up. James stopped checking his inbox. He stopped shaving, stopped laughing. One night, he snapped. I gave my whole life to that company, he yelled. Late nights, weekends, sacrifices. Laura stayed quiet. She wanted to scream too, but someone had to stay strong. Harry watched everything and said nothing until one night, Harry came home late from work. He stood in the doorway holding his backpack. I need to say something, he said. Harry opened his laptop. I've been tracking expenses, he said. Every dollar. James finally looked up. Harry continued. We're bleeding money in small places. Subscriptions. Eating out. Extra data plans. Stuff we don't even notice. James felt embarrassed. This was his job, as a father. I'll take over groceries, Harry said. I'll cook. I'll handle gas planning. And I can cover part of the rent. You shouldn't have to, Harry interrupted gently. You raised me. Let me help now. Silence filled the room. Then James nodded. Slowly, but cutting costs wasn't enough. Because survival needs more than sacrifice. So, what did this family do next when hope was almost gone? It wasn't luck. It wasn't a miracle. It was a practical choice that most people ignore. One morning, James woke up early, not from anxiety, but clarity. He sat at the table with a notebook, not resumes, not job boards, a plan. James realized something painful but true. The old job might never come back, so he stopped chasing what was gone and started using what he had: experience, connections, knowledge. James began offering freelance consulting. Not fancy, not big contracts. Small businesses, local shops, online startups. He didn't wait for permission. He emailed, he messaged, he offered free audits. One client turned into two, two turned to five. Income was small at first, but it was real. Meanwhile, Laura took extra morning shifts. Exhausting, painful, but temporary. Harry automated their budget. Every dollar had a job. No guessing, no panic, just control. 3 months later, they weren't rich, but they weren't drowning. Rent was paid. Food was on the table. James smiled again. Laura laughed again. Harry slept better. The house felt warm, not because money returned, but because hope did. James learned something important. I am not my job, he said one night. I am my choices. Recessions don't break families. Silence does. Pride does. Fear does. What saved this family wasn't money. It was honesty, teamwork, and adapting fast. If this story feels familiar, if you're struggling right now, you are not weak. You are not alone. Share this story with someone who needs it. Subscribe for real stories about real struggles. And remember, hard times don't last. Strong families do.